Good morning, YouTube. Long time no see. Real life's going on. I haven't been doing a lot of gardening, so I guess this is more just kind of a little life update with a tiny bit of gardening squeezed up in there. So I'll show you what's happening around my area here at where the secret garden once was. So I cheated and I got a couple of plants out here. This right here is the Violet de Bordeaux fig, and there's another big one over there. It's got some in there. I thought, what the heck, I'll try to start some of them this winter. And I just couldn't bear to let all my peppers die. They may be kind of rough, but I went ahead and brought them out here and overwintered them. And I've got a whole lot of different flavors. Here on the end is one of Mama's little trees, and I can't remember what that dude's called, but I thought it was kind of cute little tree, so I brought it out here. It's going to be in here in my office. This used to be my shop, this room that I'm in, once upon a time, and I have cleaned this guy out pretty much, and it's slowly becoming my office. Okay, you can see everything's pretty well cleaned out. This is going to come off the wall. The table itself is going to go to my new shop. And I have a wooden table that the school was going to throw away. And I'm going to take this guy to my shop so I can put my vise back on it. And I'm going to put wheels on it so I can run it around. But that'll keep me, I keep making a table out of my sawhorses over there. And I realized this guy would be just as good over there. And when I saw the school throwing away a pretty good table, an oak table that had one leg screwed up, I threw it in the back of the pickup and I brought it out here and we repaired the leg, and I just got to put it on. But what's going to happen, I'm going to take all those lights that are lighting up the world down there, and I think I'm going to put them on the underside of this cabinet right here. And then all those peppers will go between that little electric heater and that wood heater. And I'll just line them up right there and they'll get all that light. And if there's not room, and I need a little bit more room, I'll put them under that guy. But at this point, this place is going to become an office. Now, that may look weird, but I'm probably going to keep that there because I need air all the time. And that thing sat out at the airport for 20 years not being used. That thing is from 1999. And I saw it out there, and I asked the guy that runs the airport what they were going to do with it. And he said if I wanted it to take it. So I had to get a new motor for it, but the compressor was still fine. Now the compressor's on its last leg. I've noticed a little racket coming here lately, but I mean, I've been out here now 2.5 years using that thing, and it's took good care of me. So it's gonna stay. If anything, I may box it in. It'll look like I got a water heater or something over there, but these walls and this terrible ceiling and this just jerry-rigged stuff around here, I'm gonna clean it up, and this is gonna become an office. And by the time I get done with all this stuff, you won't even recognize it anymore. Basil out here, that's what was left over. It froze last night. It was our first freeze. And the basil's had it. You can see, so has what's left of my okra. I left this little strip. I figured they wouldn't get too mad. My peach tree's gonna be all right. Got some parsley hiding back here. And believe it or not, it took it no problem. But it's time I need to cut this stuff up, take it home and use it. You can see the only thing that's still trying to make right here is that dadgum trumpet vine. I told y'all that stuff is amazing. That trumpet vine doesn't give up. And there's my new shop. But I'm gonna go around this way because I have started that pickup since it froze last night, letting it warm up. But you know, things is changing around here a little bit. Government people still out here as well. You can see my table from there is gone. I've just almost got it all cleaned up. This is going to go on the back side of my shop, and I'll show you where that's going to happen at. But Let's turn this open pickup off. All right. Okay. Get my old key out for the chop. All right. Let's see here this morning. All right. And it's starting to look like a shop. I've been working. All right. Romantical in here. All right. I brought my heater out that I used to have in my greenhouse at the house in case it's cold out here, because I haven't spent a winter in here yet. Instead, what I'm finding out is this insulated shop is awesome. I love it. Let me back up a little bit and get off of it so you can see. Preston and I, that's the guy that works with me here, we made some bins here for my PVC. So now it kind of looks like when you go up to the parts house and you get parts. And I liked it so much, we made another one. I've got a bunch of little leftover goodies that need to go in there. All kinds of stuff. And we've actually been working in this shop. It looks kind of rough, but as of right now, I've got my plumbing section going. There's my electrical, and I've got a little bit of air left over. That blue line up on top is air. But let's see here. And this guy, I was telling my partner, this bottom half here, I think is going to be my fencing supplies area. I don't have to do a lot of it, but I want somewhere to put it. And concrete forms, that kind of stuff. Some of the power tools are going to go under this half of this table. I haven't finished it yet, but, and then this top shelf on this, I'm going to take that guy out altogether, and we'll hang our hat and coats up in there and whatever we need to, welding shirt, stuff like that. But it's coming along, and the vision is getting a little bit more clear. Okay, and I got a little storage left underneath there. Got my I used to have some trustees. I used to be a jailer and a work boss, and me and some local inmates built this table. And I have really enjoyed it over the years, and I brought it out here with me because that guy was handy. And I added this little section onto it. Right now you got my welding rods and stuff on there, but this is my charging area. I got, like, if I want to charge a battery, I can set it up here on this table. And all my battery goodies, see, I got them kind of all in this section. And I chose this section because this particular port, let me back up a little bit. This particular port right here that you can come into is going to be my mechanicing area, okay? Any kind of work on the pickup or any of the other stuff, my equipment wise, I'm probably going to use this guy. I'm going to pull this stuff in here, and I'll have access to all my goodies, you know what I mean? I've got my wrenches and my sockets and my O-rings and all that stuff over here. We made this the paint section. This is the start of it. May have to build a little something else down here to put some more, but it has begun. And I've got my sink done here now, and everything works on that guy. I got supplies and stuff up there right now, and I know you see chainsaws, but that is not where I want the chainsaws. I want to keep the chainsaws and the other small equipment like my mowers and such over there. And that's right now kind of where I've got my my small engine stuff and John Deere stuff for my tractors and all that stuff, where I'm just storing stuff. Not gonna work on it necessarily, but I can store my stuff here and I can find it easy. You know, I've got all kind of stuff here. And then this table, I don't know yet. It's extra. We put some drawers. I can't remember where I got these guys. Let's see here. I got these drawers and we welded them on in there. We'll probably put another one right there and do some more storage kind of stuff under there. But that'll be a miscellaneous table. And right now I had put the vise on there and I've used it a time or two, and I don't like it. I like the openness of my little table that I showed you in my other place. So I'm gonna bring it, and where these sawhorses are, it'll be on wheels so we can move it wherever we want to, but we can lay anything we want to on there. And I think that'd be a pretty good deal. I'm in the middle of redoing my sign for the county park. You can see we've filled in the letters again with paint. I've sanded on one only at this point. I got to get the rest of them sanded, and then we'll seal them up with some sealer. You can see there's one more hiding back over there. Got to get these guys sealed up with some sealer, and then we'll put them back. And I turned this section over here into my woodworking and bolts bin and screws and goodies like that, my drill bits. And I'm not settled on all that yet either, to be honest with you. It's a kind of a work in progress. You see where you feel comfortable going to all the time, but got a little start on my bolts and nuts and stuff, and it's like starting over. You know, I started working here almost 20 years ago now, and all of the supplies and stuff that I had built up, they're kind of gone, and so I'm trying to get back to that place. Bought me a nice little clock. I like that thing. You can see it clear across the shop. Put a little wood storage bin here. I think metal, smaller pieces, not huge stuff, because I have a metal rack outside. I think the metal I'm going to put along this long table. I'm going to build some little arms to hold it on the back here. You know, as of now, we got a little spot to kind of hang our stuff, and I got some little chutes that little piece of tin goes in and out real easy, and all it's doing is catching most of that stuff from that chop saw and filling up in there. And I got another little one for this, the wood saw. I don't know the right name for everything, y'all. I've been using it for years and years, and I don't care. But this one here, it is not shooting out of that little hose that I put on there. See, I put that on thinking that would help gather stuff, but it's not. That dude just makes a mess whichever way it's pointed all over there. So I may have to build some kind of little silly shield or something here, so I can get it in that trash can underneath. And I've got to connect this guy to it as well, so I can keep it kind of clean in here. But, you know, we made ourselves some little storage, and I was telling my partner, you know, we got these boxes of welding rods and such. I want to build a little shelf in here where all this stuff is handy when I need some rods or something. We've noticed that this edge of the table here seems to be where we go to all the time. That's why I'm bringing that other table out here. But for welding, this is great. It's got just enough room. We're chopping, and anything we need to do works out pretty good. I made this little HOTUS here. Silly little thing, but hangs on to all our goodies for us, you know. Got my little chalk and pencils and grinding discs and such. Okay, and I got a new drill press, and I thought, you know what, we'll make a little table for it. But you know what, I hate it way over here. Don't fit. It needs to go over there in that table, that setup somewhere. Possibly even maybe that guy. I don't know, but that's where we stay working, at least for the most part. I'm trying to keep this area open between that door and that door, so I can drive in and out of here if I need to. Here's that table I told you about that the school was throwing away. That thing is absolutely perfect, except for the leg that's missing had a crack along it on both sides. And what you find out is these guys are hollow. And so we rigged it up, and it's been drying. You could see he's got it over there on the table. And you see how much I'm traveling back and forth across the shop at this point in time. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what we're trying to settle, so we're not doing all this walking back and forth. We want each station to have its own work area if possible, and still keep it kind of open. So who's to say? This may be the woodworking section later on. Don't know, but we got a little table here already set up and a little drill bit sharpener. We're trying to learn how to use that. Neither one of us ever messed with that. I've got air everywhere. Bought those little kits. I'm trying to think of where I got that thing from. I got it from Amazon. But all that blue line that runs it, it's wonderful, man. That is so easy to work with. And I've got air on every wall of my shop. And it was really easy to set that up real fast. They got a little cutter that comes with it with these quick connects and such. So my air compressor's here. So this will be the air station. And I've got my tiny bit of air tools that I do have. I've got to build something here for them, storing everything, but it's coming. I've got a little ice box full of water if I need it, and a jug. And here's some more plants in the middle of all of it. These are my citrus trees. When I brought it out here, that guy was all the way up here to under this purlin here. The two big ones that the little ones are sitting in. And so I just chopped them off at that first purlin and gave them some fake light to get them through the winter. These two my son had bought, and they were on his porch, and the deer keep molesting them, and they were tore up, and he had given up on them. And I told him, let me have them, and I'll take them out there, and maybe I can keep them alive through the winter, and you can try again in the springtime. If not, then I have a lemon and a lime to go with my two orange trees. And everybody's favorite, yep, I got about $10,000 worth of glyphosate. And that is for the very many properties that I have to maintain, including cemeteries and all of this and that. All right, now this area. This is our next bigger project. Let me see if I can get back so you can kind of see. We just kind of got it outlined right now, but this area right here is going to be for that red lift you see off in the distance. We're going to put that lift right here, and we're going to form it out of this purlin intentionally, and we're going to leave the purlin in there with the concrete and be able to build off of it, like weld up some kind of little roof. I also have way back yonder a whole bunch of used tin, and it isn't the prettiest stuff, but I'm on the back side of the shop, and for us, that'll be all right. We just want something to keep the rain off when it comes. Now, the other issue is that this is north, and the wind is blowing right at me right now. The cold wind always comes from that way. So, it also leaves me the option, once I get this guy formed up and everything, that I can build off of that and build a wall right here to block that off. And right there is the power. And so we're going to come right out of the power that's going in, right straight out to power my lift. But I'll also be able to make lights and have some outlets and stuff to plug in. So that's kind of what's been going on around here at the shop at this point in time. And at the house, I got a little bit of stuff going on, but not very much. For the most part, though, that's kind of what's happening for Jerry out here. So, when I get home for lunch, then I'll take a minute and I'll try to show you guys around. We go to the house now, check it out, show y'all what's going on there. You know what they say. No place like home. Before we do though, thought I'd let you see how this stuff came along. Those bananas got nuked. They did not like that cold. Got a couple of leeks left in there. I've been stealing the dirt out of it to pot up plants. And I got the jalapeno there, seems to be all right. That guy doesn't look too bad either. And, well, hello guys, what have y'all been doing? The old grapevine hung in there and spread out this year. Just running all over the place. This will be Grapeville next year. Strawberries hung in there. Mama's potted plants are gone, except for what grew into the ground. And it's still doing okay. That's an ivy. Looks about 4 times better growing out here than it does in the house. But you can see the, what were those guys? The poblano peppers right there. Look at them things. Still did fine. That cold didn't seem to hurt them too bad. Popcorn trees revealed itself again because the morning glory took a hit. But that's just for now. There's 10,000 seeds. It'll be swallowed up next year all the way. Cannas and nanners. Big boys up there, they didn't like that cold. They didn't like that cold. All right. And my peaches. Let's see. They about lost all their leaves there. The elephant ears don't like it. Roses are glad to see some sunlight. Ace and I have been painting the gourds a little bit, tooting around. Nothing too fancy. You can see what's left of the Tabasco peppers. Squirt likes them, don't you? Squirt straight out of Mexico, Lato. I got a couple of leftover okra. Mama needs to pick this afternoon. That's going to be the end of the okra. And a little pile of goodies back there in the back, including the basil that I'm sheltered here, see, in town. And so these things seem to take a little bit better when we get cold. They'll take a hit a little bit longer. I got rid of all my squash and my zucchini. Good stuff. I got that area to plant some stuff in. I still got all this seed from carrots. There's no depth there. You know what I'm saying? This may be my onion spot. I may put some onion seed there. I haven't started any because I don't care. I've got like 4 sacks of onions. I did so good this year. They won't last all the way to next year, but I'm not hurting for onions. It's not that big a deal. So, and that green zebra said, I had enough. All right, let's peek over here. You can see this guy, he's had enough. All my tomatillos, I got 1 quart jar of hot sauce out of there that's very good, but all my tomatillos were about that size, little bitty guys, about the size of marbles if you take them out. Let's see if I can do it for you here. Come on out of there, I can smell you breathing. I'm at it. You know, little marble sized tomatillos. These out here I just leaving. Something can grow later on. Now I've cut the water all off in here. You know, I told y'all I cut the water off. Right here it's revealed above ground. And I don't like that, and I don't want nothing busting. So I have a box way over there. And I just cut the valve off, and there's no water to any of this stuff. This stuff's just surviving on nature. Took a hit up top. There's a couple down here lower. It's still kind of hanging in there. Just barely. You can see in the back, I don't remember if it's cauliflower or broccoli, but I've got some of them. Let's see, I thought there was another one too. Yeah, there's another one over there. Critters are starting to eat it. Got my old onions still growing. But some of these have tried to hang in there. You see, that one's doing pretty well. Right beside it is a deal. I didn't even know that guy was there. All right, and these guys, look at these big old things. You know what I mean? I got a whole bunch of this green zebra. I like them. I got a counter full ripening up. So I got some more tomatoes before the end was done. And inside also I've got several of these black Krim. And they've done well. I think there was some more back in there. Yeah, a little bit. Just letting it do its thing and see what happens. This guy back here behind the door seems to be just fine. I'm not putting no heat in here. I'm not closing it off, nothing. I'm lazy, I don't care. It's not worth the effort and the money. My money needs to go other places. Anywho, so back over here. This ain't getting water, so if we don't get some rain pretty quick, I'm gonna have to water. But the carrots started in this guy. There's a couple potato plants in there that grew on their own. Don't get me to lie. There's no way they're gonna make it. The fact they made it that far is a miracle. I threw my last cucumber in there. I figure by the time spring comes, it'll start a bunch of plants for me, and I'll just take them out of there and put them where I want them. I'm lazy like that. I threw some more tomatillo stuff in here. Asparagus doing okay. I piled everything I chopped down over there in the corner to get it out of the way, but I had to be able to get there. And I had a whole bunch of sweet potatoes coming back on their own, but they didn't like that dadgum cold. And there is the fig tree that I've got the little starters in out there under the table at my office area. Flowers don't like that cold. I think that's a Hawaiian flower. I forget what they're called. Hibiscus. But I call them biscuits just to aggravate mama. And the fig tree said, forget you. It was cold last night, and I got a lot of figs. That's what's sad. This year, I actually was able to eat quite a few figs. And that made me really happy. And there might be one more bite or two up there. I see a big fat one. But you can see them. I mean, I was pretty well loaded. It's just so high. Look. Oh, where is it? I can get it. Where are you, buddy? Right there. See? Delicious. It's going in my tummy when this video ends. All right. So, that tomato plant give up. I got a mess everywhere. I just need to clean it up. But I'm going to enjoy my peace to the end of this season. This old peach tree's had enough. Hopefully, it'll get its right chill hours enough to put some goodies out for me next year. Same with this one. This one got confused, it seemed like. It died off, and then it went to putting back out a little bit of leaves. So, and this is my Saturn peach. So, that'll be cool. And the good old trumpet vine back here is taking names there. Marigold still hanging in there, the comfrey, and some of these perennials. I can't remember what all I've got, to be honest with you. Got a couple down there. That's a Arizona sunflower, New Mexico sunflower. I can't remember. Another fig tree here. And the fig trees are going to come down to about right there, all the way off. Same down there with that big boy. Right there where everything starts branching off. That's where I'm cutting it off in the spring, or just before the spring, and see if I can't keep all that business up there more at a reasonable height. The reason I let it get so dadgum big is because I've got to walk through this little area, and when it's low, I mean, it really bushes out here. So I'm trying to figure out my setup here. And the Catawba grape, still doing okay. It's fixing to go, I think, but it did good. And I also have a bunch of cuttings off of it I'm gonna try to propagate. So that's kind of cool. And this is where we started. You can see it's pretty clean and empty. I haven't planted a bunch of cabbage and stuff in here like I normally do, or broccoli. I just said, you know what? Not this time. And I got one old banana pepper there. That's about it. And Squirt, he's really disappointed in me. Anywho, that's what's going on in my life. And when I grow up, I'm probably going to be a much better gardener. Until next time, guys, we'll see y'all later.